Sometimes we find ourselves looking around the world in which we live and we see the negative. We see the bad. And I think there's a degree to which we're biologically intended to do that, right? It's the thing that keeps us from wandering outside the cave when there's a saber-toothed tiger hanging out at the mouth of the cave, right? It helps us to see the danger, the thing that's right in front of us that otherwise we might not see. But the downside of that is we don't always see the good as well. We have a hard time seeing that which is good. And so as I read this passage from the first chapter of Genesis, so going back all the way back to the start of the Bible, I want us to think about what is good. And so this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. It says this: God saw everything he had made. It was supremely good. There was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Now, when we talk about God's creation, we look around us and we see it. We see it in one another. We see it in the trees, the plants, the animals. We see it in the land and the waters. All that is God's creation. But there's a word we have to put in there. All that is good is God's creation. All that is good is God's creation. Genesis reminds us that God is about creating good. And one thing that I would say is that we believe that God is not done creating. God didn't just put everything in motion as good and then watched it turn bad and left it to just roam in the universe. God is still a part of creating. God is still moving in our world, and God is still creating all that is good in our world. God is creating through you and through me. God is creating in all that we can do in our relationships to add good into the world around us. God saw creation. God saw the blueprints for this world and said, it is good. Did we screw it up from there? Yeah. And we're really good at doing that. But we are also capable of good. And so may we be part of what God is doing in God's creativity. May we create with God all that is good. And may we learn to see the good, not just the saber-toothed tiger at the mouth of the cave, but all that is good too. Amen.